Hello, my name is Kerry Arth, and yesterday we talked about Brash Games and their massive non-disclosure problem, whereby they had tens upon tens upon tens of articles linking to online casinos. They were clearly and blatantly paid for, and yet there was no disclosure to be found. Now, that video, I think, showed very well what was going on. I've also reported them to the ASA as well, which I think is very important. But, as so often happens with these things, we're not quite done yet, because a long-time supporter of the channel, he went down the rabbit hole in a big way and found something that I missed, and I'm incredibly thankful to him for emailing it over. We'll go through that in a minute, but before we do, there's just a couple of other things that I want to address. The first is a comment that was left on that video, which I hope you don't mind. I'm going to read it out. I will link to it. If you want to delete it, I won't use your name. You'll still remain anonymous. I'd just like to read it out just because it, again, provides an insight into this from someone who has been on the receiving end of offers like the ones that Brash Games seem to have taken on board. So, this person commented and said, "Good work on this. I used to run a decent sized UK gaming site, and the explanation is that these are paid for adverts, as you've rightly deduced. I was offered articles like this with no exaggeration, more or less every single weekday of every single week that I ran the site for 4 years. The site's been closed since June 2016, though it is still online, and I still get offers to post content like this at the rate of about a dozen a month. I never look for the offers, they find you in Google and then just fire off an email. Mostly it's for online casinos, but I was offered articles for dropping links to new shows on the History Channel, new shoe brands, car manufacturers, and everything else. They even write the article for you. We never once posted one of these articles as it wasn't my site and the management were against it, but it was all too tacky for me anyway, to be honest. The standard rate that was being offered was $75 to $250 per post, and in some cases they'll offer recurring payments of $25 per article once per quarter. After that, if the article remains on the site, I'll leave you to work out what that works out to and what the recurring payments would be across the 160 articles listed on Brash for David James, which we've already established are all have these gambling links embedded, or at least links to third-party sites that have been paid for. That's significant, and again, thank you for that comment and for shining a bit of light as someone who's had experience with it. It's very helpful, and to be honest, it's kind of extra nice to know that I was right. I'm just going to be honest, it was. The other thing, which is important to note, now, I'm not going to lie, I don't know the significance of this. I'm assuming it's an attempt to cover his tracks, but someone on Reddit, Volleyball Already, pointed out that the terms of service has actually changed. So yesterday I pointed out that in the terms of service, despite Paul Ryan being the public face of the company, the one who dealt with OpenCritic, David James was the one who was listed in the terms of service. That partly contributed to my thinking that David James isn't a real person. The total lack of social media presence for a guy called David James who works at Brash Games made me suspicious. I'm even more suspicious now because we can do a game of Spot the Difference between... This is an archive, by the way, an archive of the Terms of Service page from the 19th of March 2017. And we'll do a quick comparison between this and the one that we showed on the video yesterday. So see if you can spot the difference. Credit, Paul Ryan, Brash Games. Copyright notice, 2011 to 2016, Paul Ryan / Brash Games. I, Paul Ryan of Brash Games, I, Paul Ryan, etc, etc. You get the idea. And then if we look at the terms of service now, well, terms and conditions. Credit, David James. Copyright notice, 2011 to 2017, David James, I, David James, so on and so forth. Again, I can't really comment on the significance of that. My assumption is that, again, David James isn't real and they are just... Paul Ryan is using it as a way to avoid blame, to just pass the buck on to someone else. Whether it works like that, I doubt it. I suspect when the ASA does come knocking for the sheer amount of non-disclosure going on, I don't think changing the name on your terms of service is really going to be enough to protect you, but I can only guess that is what he was doing. I'm not going to try and guess anything more than that because that's already fairly wild speculation. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Then again, having said that, none of this really makes sense to me, if I'm honest, so I don't know really what that's worth, that statement. Right, apparently the gift that is Brash Games simply doesn't stop giving because I'm having to record yet another add-on video to insert into the video that you are watching right now, just as I had to do yesterday with the main video. This time, again, it's from someone on my Discord server, so shout out to Randomo, thank you very much for this. Let me see if you can spot a mild issue with the clients page for Brash Games. Is there any part of this website that is not rotten, by the way? I'm genuinely starting to wonder that now. The writers was bad, the bylines was bad, the review scores was bad, the advertising gambling sites without disclosure was pretty bad. Nothing about this site is turning out to be genuine in any way, shape or form. It's getting ridiculous. So, this is the clients page on Brash Games. We are proud to present our growing list of past and present clients. The list is updated on a regular basis and we do our very best to keep it current. If you're missing from the list, kindly contact us to get added with this nice graphic here and a big long list of stuff here. By the way, I intend over the next couple of days to email as many of these companies as I possibly can and see if they have had any form of communication with Brash Games whatsoever outside of review codes. I'll be surprised if they have. So, you've got the image firmly in your head. I'll bring it up just one more time. Here we go. Look at that. Nice. What is this? Oh look, it's a sampling of Nintendo Switch partners. Look at the graphic. Look how familiar it seems. In fact, it's so familiar, you would think that it's absolutely identical. So Brash Games presumably has nothing to do with these companies outside of writing stuff about them. They don't have clients. What they do have is stolen art assets from other companies. This is ridiculous. Where is this going to end? Where is this going to stop? It's just ludicrous at this point. They have blatantly and clearly simply taken a graphic prepared by Nintendo's marketing team, as you can see pretty damn clearly there, and just stuck it in their own website. Not a single hint of attempting to reorganise it or make it look like it's their own work. When's it going to end? When is it going to end? This is ludicrous now. This is just getting ridiculous. Is there any part of this website that is not rotten? What the hell is going on? Anyway, carry on with the video. I hope you enjoy it, and I've no doubt that in about 2 or 3 days I'll be back with another video about Brash Games because it just doesn't ever seem to end. Good grief. Enjoy the rest of the video. Let's go on to the thing that I really wanted to make this video about, and this isn't really like, it's not like a massive groundbreaking thing. It's not like the first one. This, if anything, just cements what we thought, what I thought, what the video is about, what I suspect them of doing. This just cements it. It's a link, a genuine, easily followable, easily traceable link between Brash Games and someone who is, or was, at the very least, probably still is, very active in the affiliate side of online betting and online casinos. So, Mary found this article, which I missed. I'll be honest, I checked most of the articles under gambling, but a few slipped through the cracks because there's so many of them that once you see like 60, 70 articles that have got links to casinos in them, you kind of just end up looking for links to casinos and you stop paying attention to the content of the article. So even if I had come across this myself, this article in particular, or checked it myself even, I don't think I would have noticed what was at the bottom of it because, well, it's kind of significant, but it's also just another bloody gambling post on Brash Games. So here we go. This is PS4 games to be released in February of 2016 by David James, February 8th, 2016. Under the gambling tag, as they all are. Looks normal, looks standard, pretty normal, pretty standard, list of games, so on and so forth. And then down the bottom here, we see this. There is your obligatory link to a gambling site, which is Free Slot Money. If you wish to try online casino gaming, just point your browser to freeslotmoney.com. Now, as you can see, this is attributed to David James in the byline, and yet down here it says about the author. Stan Rogers is the contributing editor of Free Slot Money. That's what that link is. Stan has been in the online gaming industry for over 10 years, and having worked to bring online slot game content to casino operators on the slot game product development side, that doesn't make any sense, follow Free Slot Money, so on and so forth. So, this is Free Slot Money. It is an online casino, it's a gambling site. And if you go to About Us, which is right here, Stan Rogers is the contributing editor here at Free Slot Money, so on and so forth. So we have a direct link there from a contributing author at Brash Games to an online casino, which he runs. The website is entirely... He runs it. He's the contributing editor. So that's one significant link at the very least. Then, when you do a little bit more digging, as Mary did, you'll find this. Now, this is Stan Rogers, and it is the same person. He mentions Free Slot Money. And this is AGD, which is this. A casino affiliate program website and forum. So this person, Stan Rogers, who also wrote this article, is an active participant or author on Brash Games. I mean, I don't really know what else I could do to show just how much that cements what we thought to begin with, but I think it makes it fairly clear at this stage. And that's before you even get to the fact that he's contributed to discussions about, for instance, 888 Poker. So he's got a contribution on that forum right here on 888 Poker, talking about 888 Poker and their 888 Poker app by David James on the Brash Games website. There's also an article on Castle Builder 2, which I believe we showed in the video yesterday, which, that's fine, we showed that, but talks about minimum deposit casinos, so on and so forth. And yet, there's also an article on Free Slot Money about Castle Builder 2. These articles are written about a month apart, and the end is the same. That is the summary for Free Slot Money, and that is the end of the Brash Games article. Now, I have no idea why David James has been picked as the name to take the credit for all of these articles. I don't know whether Stan Rogers is still writing. I don't know whether it was Stan Rogers the whole time. I honestly, anything beyond what I've shown you would just be speculation, because Stan Rogers is very hard to track down. David James is nigh impossible to track down. Paul Ryan, I tried to get a bit cheeky and have a look at LinkedIn and so on. His LinkedIn profiles are gone. Anything that remains of Paul Ryan on social media seems to just have Brash Game branding, and there's nothing personal at all. You could sit there and go full-on conspiracy theory. Oh, well, what if they're Stan Rogers? It really, there's no point going down that road, because at this point it's not irrelevant, because it would be big if true, but the important thing is that there is a concrete 100% cement link there between Brash Games and affiliate programs for online casinos. There is at the very least a conflict of interest, if not a direct cause and effect thing of this person has written for this site and they are also an active participant in affiliate programs for online casinos. It just hammers it home. I think what was in the previous video was enough, but this goes above and beyond in confirming what we said in the previous video. So that's what I wanted to bring to your attention. That is the sort of follow-up to this. If I find anything else, if any more information comes to light, then obviously I will let you know, but I think this might be the end of that particular rabbit hole, unless someone finds something really exciting, which at this point I kind of hope that you don't, because I really feel like Brash Games is just getting a bit too weird at this stage. It's just going off the rails, something crazy. This all started because I didn't like the fact that they were removing authors from bylines, and then to find out that it seems to be some sort of bizarre operation that farms affiliate links for casinos. I mean, how the hell are you supposed to predict that? And I even realised after the previous video, that I made the comment that everything under the gambling tag has obviously got a link to an online casino. That's 13 pages worth, and that pretty much everything to do with David James has got something to do with a casino. I didn't really mention, I don't think, the fact that a significant number of these things aren't under gambling, what David James has written. Quite a lot of it's under blog. So even if you treated gambling as, oh, well, that's the sign, that's the key, that's how you know, it's not even consistent in that sense, because there are entries under blog that do exactly the same thing as the entries under gambling. But they're all by this same person. They're all by David James. So that is the additional information I have for you. If I find anything else, which I almost wish I won't, because surely this is enough to be going on with for the moment. Yeah, I hope that has shed a little bit more light on it. I hope that if you had any doubts, this has put those doubts to rest, and we can all rest easy knowing that, yes, Brash Games have been just selling articles for money to casinos and not disclosing it, and hopefully they're going to get into a lot of trouble for it on top of that. Thank you very much for watching. If you like that video, then like the video. There's another video for you to watch right there. You can also click the thingy to subscribe, or visit my Patreon page, but you don't have to, it's totally up to you. Once again, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Toodaloo.